Good afternoon, morning, evening, or night, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Alex, and this episode's subject comes in from It's G-Flow. Alex, about a month or so ago, I sent you a private message on YouTube asking if you could possibly do a video about piracy. So piracy is a big thing, obviously, in the gaming world, and my thoughts on it are as follows. The gaming industry is the one industry that I fully support. I feel like the money is used in a better way, or something. I feel like it goes more directly to the actual developers there. Like, I know this applies to like every form of media, but if you spend the money on it, if you actually buy it, then it's more likely there's going to be another one, or the company's going to move on to do bigger and better things. I just feel like I want to support. It's one of my favorite industries. I want to see it grow. I want to put money into it. Whereas I feel like the movie and music industry are a little bit stagnant. They are. I don't feel like my money is going to it, and it doesn't help that those ones are fucking overpriced as shit. Like, I don't like buying movies. Like, they're so overpriced. Like, going to the cinema alone is like ridiculously expensive. It's the same price as actually buying it on DVD or Blu-ray. So it's just a silly thing going on there. But with games, while they are expensive, they are, I don't know, to me they just feel like they're worth it. But does that mean that I'm against piracy? Not necessarily. There are cases where it's just like, okay, whatever. Especially when it's like, when games, especially in Australia or where was it recently? Brazil, I think it was, where their content's being filtered. They're not actually capable of being able to buy things. Maybe piracy is the only way they're going to be able to play these games, which means, well, they're not going to get the money anyway, so you might as well pirate it. You might as well, talk to everyone about it, get in the conversation. What harm does that really do? But when you constantly pirate games and all these games, and then one of your favorite franchises doesn't have a sequel because they didn't sell enough, then it's like, well, maybe if you didn't pirate it and did buy it, it's like no one's fault but your own if you're not going to put the money towards it. But I still don't think there's piracy. Everyone pirates, okay? Everyone who uses the fucking internet has pirated something. Even if you're YouTube converting a song, you're still taking money away from the industry's pocket. Whether that's a good or bad thing, I don't know. It doesn't really bother me when someone says I pirated a movie. I don't just go, oh, well, I'm reporting you to the police. That offends me. You should be supporting those industries because, sometimes they don't always deserve it. How are you supposed to know if something's... Because, like, for example, Guacamelee. I got it for free. It's a game with Games of Gold. And I thought it was so good that I went and bought the soundtrack for £7 or £8 or something. Because I wanted to support them. I wanted to give my money to them because they didn't get any money for getting it for free. Well, they probably got royalties from Microsoft for handing it out for free, but they didn't get my money specifically, which I wanted to, give them. So, I mean, I think when you pirate a game, it sort of takes away a few of your rights, as in, like, you can't really complain if something doesn't work in it or something. Like, you see, there was a story, because, games, when they sometimes build in systems where they can figure out if you've pirated the game or not, and they'll do something in your game to change things up. Like, I think it was Arkham Asylum. They made it so you couldn't glide. Like, you couldn't open your cape and glide. And the game is playable for hours and hours until a point where you can't glide. So then you get to that part and you just constantly die, and you're like, well, what's going on? Why can't I do this game? Because you pirated it and the game knows it. So then these people go onto these threads and start big complaining things like, hey, your game's broken, I can't glide. And it's like, no, you've just come out pretty much admitting that you're a pirate. Cheeky man or woman you are. You. But yeah, I don't really have super strong opinions either way, because obviously I've pirated things before. We've all pirated things before. I'm the sort of person that I don't like throwing my money out there without knowing necessarily the quality of the product. So maybe I will pirate something, and then I realize, that's really good, and then I will maybe buy whatever it is. Although partially with games, for me, it's just so convenient to just buy it. I'm on an ecosystem I like. I'm on the Xbox One. I just enjoy being part of it. It's just easy for me. Like for example, when the last season of Breaking Bad came out, it was just on Netflix day one. There, instant. So I don't need to pirate it. I don't need to. I might as well just do it on here because it's more convenient. It is easier, and I think if they want to go about stopping piracy, that's the sort of thing they somehow need to do. Steam's doing a damn good job of that. They make fucking tons of money by just having everything be so cheap, constantly having these sales all the time. So, what do you think about piracy? I've got quite a broad sort of broad thoughts on it there. So, do you think it somehow takes your rights away, if your right to complain, maybe, if you didn't pay for it and that sort of thing? Do you support it? Are you against it? I know there are certain cases where it should be allowed and shouldn't be looked at as some sort of thing. It's a weird one, Piracy. Like, let me know in the comments below. I'm actually genuinely curious about what you think about that. I'm going to make a prediction here and say I'm going to assume that the majority of commenters on here are going to be for it, primarily because maybe depending on where you live, games are like super duper overpriced and expensive. Like, they're pretty overpriced here in the UK as it is, but that's my prediction. That's what I reckon. So yeah, tell me in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching. All comments and ratings are very much appreciated. And make sure you check out and leave suggestions for future Jar Blabs. That doesn't really make any sense. But anyway, I'll see you next time. Bye. A lot of people comparing these to the Star Wars prequels, and that right off is just wrong. You are fucking wrong, okay? Because the Star Wars prequels, George Lucas somehow forgot how to make fucking movies. Well, as if he... I'm not even going to go into that, but these are all their proper movies. They may be long, they may be bloated to you, they may feel unnecessary to you, but for someone like me, I'm just happy that they're there. Like, sure, it might have been better if they were 2 movies and were more condensed and